So we're off.
We're on.
We'll say hello to all the
Welcome, everyone.
See, we're real. This is what I do in the SRA in-person training in November live, which is quite cool. So firstly, we'd like to say obviously thanks for joining us, because it's quite nice to have the online audience as well. And there is a room full of people, because there isn't just sound bites as such. So we're just kind of going through, at the moment, we're just talking about earth-based spirits, working through different levels of protection, the things that we need to protect ourselves from, primarily, which of course is the core content of this whole session to a certain degree. So day one for us really was a kind of meet and greet to start with. John did like an introduction. Everyone hopefully sort of feels a bit more chilled for the laugh. Everyone kind of had coffee and tea. So it's all about just building the energy from our perspective to be positive. Everyone feeling as though they're part of a collective group that we listen to, and we're actually working together. And again, from our perspective, there's no real kind of hierarchy. John and I don't do hierarchy, so there is no hierarchy. We're all kind of the same, and everybody in the room that's here on the in-person training, everyone brings something to the table that someone next to them doesn't bring, basically. So everybody has information, experience, perceptions, schooling, training that we all need to kind of grow together. Now, I think from my perspective, one of the things that we talked about earlier, basically, was the concept that we've got this protocol that we know works, we've tested it, we know it works really well. Obviously, Dr. Palmer tested it really well with that kind of 80% efficacy. So 80% of cases work in a positive way, 20% either no change or not really sure. So that's the part that we need to work on, that we kind of discussed from a group perspective. And I think, and John is the same, we sort of feel that with this joining together of so many more people that have different understanding and perception, we can kind of get to a space that we feel that 20%. And that's what our kind of goal is really, to work to a point that every single person, every client that we work with gets to feel better 100%. That's kind of the goal, and that's obviously part of what we're here for. So at that point, I might hand over to my colleague, who's probably got lots to say, because he talks a lot.
So yeah, that's really what we're doing. So we're literally getting to the stage where we're going into the nitty-gritty of our work, really, the spiritual protection. We're going into the grounding, we're going into the gatekeeper this afternoon. These are three main points we really have to cover on day one, and they're going to set the foundations over the next 4 days as well. And over that period, we'll then start progressing through the protocol, as Andy said, and then working real-life cases towards the end of the week. So it's a full-on week. There's lots to cover, there's lots to do, and we've certainly got the team here to do it, because it's, I think by Friday, we're going to have a great team going forward in the academy, that's for sure.
Yes, definitely.
Right question. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the other thing to talk about really is obviously from our perspective, this is obviously a starting point. It's taken us probably about a year to get to this point really. And we say last week, aren't we, like, wow, like we are starting, this is actually real now. Because we've been talking about it, we sit in the room and we drink coffee, we laugh about things quite a lot, obviously, as you've seen. And then we talk about things, we say, how are we going to do this, how are we going to do that, how are we going to present this part, we talk to Terry and Chen. So there's an awful lot of conversation going on behind the scenes about how to do things, which when you actually look at what that boils down to, it doesn't really boil down to much particularly, but it is directional, and that's the whole point from our perspective really. This whole Spirit Release Academy wasn't supposed to be a kind of turn up and get qualified. This is a harder path to traverse for the people coming on it, and everyone in the room is probably started thinking, wow, I wonder if I should be here now. Hopefully no one is, but the concept is that we will get everyone to the point they will be popping out, certified, able to do the work, different people, different timelines. And that was the concept that SRA was supposed to be about something that actually manifests in the spiritual arena that's real, but actually is a proper certification. It means something. So when someone says, I'm an SRA practitioner, people think, okay, so you've been on a journey to get there. You didn't just turn up to a weekend course and drink coffee, had a chat, and then get a certificate. You've actually proved that you know what you're talking about. We can talk to practitioners on the same level because we're talking the same language. They've all done the training, they've done the understanding, we're all at the same place. And that's what SRA was always supposed to be about from the start, really. And that's where we're quite lucky that obviously Terry's on board. So I have this continual voice that change this, do that, we don't want to do this, we don't want to do that. And then he's talking about when do we start research? I said, Terry, we haven't started the courses yet. Like, when do we start the research? It's kind of I almost feel like we're kind of being pushed and driven. And we were just talking about the same thing. When you guys start to do cases, we can collect that statistical data and actually start to come up with an efficacy model and say, okay, from real life cases, not just ones that we do, the ones that you guys do as well, we can start to look at how many clients are, definite positive change, mood change, not quite sure. So when we start to look at the numbers and the figures, we can actually create the efficacy model. And that gives the whole SRA concept validity from that point of view, because it's real. We can say 2,000, 5,000 cases, these are the numbers, 80% of people have a positive feeling from it, therefore it works. And that's like a kind of game changer, because at the moment, for me, most spiritual things are a bit kind of woo-woo, it's a bit different perceptions, different people's ideas on things. But we have to have the statistics to be able to prove what we're saying works, what we do works, and what we're teaching works. And that's, for me, part of where we're starting to move. And that was a chat I was having this morning in the shower with Terry. He was going, well, you've got to get the numbers, you've got to get the numbers. I said, all right, we're just starting. We haven't even done day one yet, Terry, and already we're coming up with the next thing to do. And this, of course, from a spiritual perspective, is where things are happening. And obviously, with the connection behind the scenes, Dolores is connecting with Terry, and I think Laozu is connecting as well. So there is this team being formed behind the scenes of some quite prominent people. And they're not prominent in their own areas, they're actually collectively coming together. And this is, I think, is where we're going to see some quite interesting things start to pop out of these whole sessions and conversations. And whether that manifests through SRA or whether Lara manifests it through Divinate or somewhere else, but there's some new things coming because the people behind the scenes are leading their field and what they did, and they're continuing to work. And that's what I think is the big game changer, really. And we don't even know where that is. We're just like everybody else, like you. We're just on the path. You tell us where to go, we go there basically, and we'll kind of see what comes out. So hopefully that gives the online people some idea of the things that we've covered and talked about in the last couple of hours here.
Yes, definitely.
Perfect.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys in a couple hours.